helping out in the legal arena. All of the updates on our litigation can be found on our website and the news releases that we do. But everything from data relating to the 3D printing of firearms on the internet, Illinois Circuit Court judges ruling that the firearms the FOID card, to possess a gun in the home being unconstitutional. Of course, the Supreme Court now agreeing to hear the New York right to carry case, and fighting bad gun laws in states like Pennsylvania, California, Illinois, and New Jersey. We've been really, really busy as an organization fighting the fight in the legal arena, because as we know, those cases, when they come out favorable, just have terrific positive outcomes for our Second Amendment rights. My main goal is to kind of continue what I had done for the past 29 years, and that is just kind of working to help SAF build and strategize their volunteer program and to engage the grassroots more, just because of all the inevitable battles that we're facing. So some months ago, we've released this program called the 2A First Responders Program. And you can find information on our website. I'll see if I can share our website screen in a moment so you can see how it works. But we're not only investing a lot of human capital with people like me in the program, but also investing a lot of money. We've done hundreds and hundreds of national TV ads. I think 106 new TV ads are going to run next week, encouraging people to enroll in this free grassroots program. All we're asking them to do is to text PROTECT 2A to 474747. Protect 2A to 474747, and they'll get automatically enrolled in the program. So we'll be pushing even more ads to promote the program starting next week. So this is really our premier grassroots engagement program to identify those members who want to take on a higher role in helping SAF and CCRKB have citizen advocates all across the country. We're going to continue to educate members on key issues, not just in the litigation arena, but obviously with Joe Biden's executive orders and legislation that's pending in Congress, and working to be a voice amplifier for groups like you if we can help get your message out in the state level. Fortunately, I'm a Virginian. We're all Virginians, and we know that the tide has really turned in the gun rights movement. So Virginia has really become a hotbed of anti-gun activity. So if we can help amplify your message, either on a national basis because the state's so important, or to our supporters in the state, that's something we want to do. And I'll be working in the coming weeks and months to really train our first responders to become citizen advocates, to contact their lawmakers in opposition to bad bills, and obviously in support of good bills, to write letters to the editor of their local newspapers, to attend local hearings, to speak up and speak out against local restrictions on our rights, to be their own force multiplier in their community by amplifying our message on their own social media pages and talking to their family, friends, neighbors, fellow farm owners to educate them on the Second Amendment. Of course, we in Virginia have elections this year, so it's critically important that all of our supporters are registered to vote, or else they won't be eligible to vote in the upcoming November elections. I truly believe that Virginia's off-year elections always serve as a bellwether where the national politicians and pundits kind of watch what happened in Virginia as a precursor to what might happen in next year's 2022 elections. And we're going to be working to get our folks to spread out and engage what I call the natural resources of the gun owning community. Gun shops, gun ranges, shooting clubs, the places where our folks and our supporters tend to congregate, where we all feel we can get the best return on our volunteer outreach investment by using rifle shot precision and targeting our efforts in those areas. We think we're going to reach the most people. So certainly one of the asks I'm going to have of you is to help promote our first responder program to your members. I will take a moment real quick to see if there's a way that I can find a way to share my screen. Let's see if this comes up. All participants. Can you guys see the SAF website now? It's coming up for you? No. Okay. Let me just try one more time. Any luck now? No? Okay. Must be a little technical glitch. But basically, if you go to our website, which is saf.org, and you click the Protect Your Rights section, there's a drop-down tab where we're asking people to enroll in this free program by filling out what we call our Freedom Form. And it's just a way for us to identify the individuals. We need to know where you live and how to contact you, so we know what legislative district you're in. And then we're just trying to survey them on what tasks they may be interested in doing. So people who want to be letters to the editor writer will get a message to write letters to the editor. People who are interested in maybe going door to door or canvassing on our behalf or attending gun shows like you do, just trying to profile our volunteers so we can tailor our volunteer ask to them. That's what the point of the form is. So I think we're making a lot of traction. I don't know the current number, but we've recruited well over 100,000 of these first responders. The program really has a lot of popularity. It's really taking hold all across the country. So my main role with SAF will be to start training those individuals to become more engaged, and then reaching out literally on a monthly basis to other state level groups to host these types of meetings with a larger audience of their members, to introduce them to the first responder program, to make the ask that they join so we can communicate with them directly, and then kind of make an offer to them like I'm doing to VCDL to see how we can work together to amplify both of our messages, because I think we would all agree that we're a lot stronger when we're unified and working together than we're working separately. And we probably have a lot of human resources and strategy that we can exchange to make the whole movement a little bit stronger. So really, I just wanted to introduce myself and the program and talk about our goals moving forward. I'll take any questions that you guys have at the end, but Phil, I wanted to give you the opportunity to kind of speak and give an update to what VCDL has going on right now, what your priorities are, what you may have down the future, and just if you want to give me any ideas or suggestions about how we can mutually work together as SAF and VCDL moving forward. So Phil Van Cleve, why don't you take it over?
Okay. Yeah, well, we're in full agreement with the fact that this is a time in history where it's all hands on deck. If you're a gun owner, I don't care if you're a hunter, you only use a gun once a year to go hunting deer or turkey or something, or if you are a target shooter, a professional shooter, whatever, we all need to be on board with this. We need to coordinate. We need to fight gun control at every level, because we're being attacked at every level. Right now, we're just seeing a level, it's just insanity out there as to what they're trying to do. But they've been impeded so far in a lot of ways. Even here in Virginia, while we got some gun control, they had to pull their punches on virtually everything because of our massive pushback. But we have to keep that up. As a free people, one of the things we have to do to live in a free country is we've got to be active, at least to some degree politically. We've got to be out there letting our leaders know, or our representatives know what we want and what we don't want. We need to be making sure that we pick the best of the people that represent us. They're not all perfect, but we definitely want to pick the best of those that are out there to represent us. And VCDL focuses mostly at the state level, but we do a little bit nationally. But that's where we look to groups like Second Amendment Foundation, CCRKBA, Gun Owners of America. We look out to those organizations to help out nationally. And we step in, like I say, we'll step in for a national issue on occasion, but generally we're relying on them to at least be watching for things like we watch for things in Virginia. But yeah, I think it's a great idea. It's something what I tell people is, invite your neighbor who's on the fence, invite your slightly anti-gun friend who's maybe anti-gun really out of ignorance. They just don't really know the subject well, and take them to the shooting range. That's our version of cocaine. They get out there, they have a good time, they hit some bullseyes, they realize that there is something to shooting. It is a skill. And it's a whole lot of fun and something you can't imagine till you've actually done it. That is something I encourage people to do, because once people really understand the subject, then they barriers just fall away. I mean, I've seen that even just in the level of getting somebody to shoot a handgun for the first time. As soon as I explain, I see this happen frequently to somebody like that that's never handled a handgun or a rifle or anything. They're nervous about it. They're kind of frightened. They're not so sure that this is a good thing. As soon as I explain the 3 or 4 major safety rules, all of a sudden, right then, I can see a barrier drop. Suddenly, they don't feel quite so out of control. They feel like, oh, okay, so if I do this, I'm safe. Okay, well, that's not too bad. The knowledge changes everything. And then when you get them to the range and teach them how to shoot, it's a big help. We need to reach out everywhere. And I know Second Amendment Foundation is the same as VCDL as far as we welcome all gun owners into the fold. I don't care what your religion is. I don't care what your skin color is. I don't care what your politics are. As long as you're for gun rights, as you're for our right to defend ourselves and our right to bear arms for all the reasons that the Second Amendment is there, you're always welcome into our organization. And I think that's pretty much how almost all the gun organizations are. So, and I think that's important. We need to reach out to everybody. Our door has to be, we have to have the biggest tent out there so that whenever they consider gun control, they go, well, I'm kind of counting upon, the women's vote or gays and lesbian vote or whatever. And then suddenly they're finding out that a large portion of these people are involved in gun rights. They just won't be able to go near them because wherever they turn, a slice of America will be looking back at them saying, no, you're not touching my rights. Leave my gun rights alone. My right to self-defense is my most important right.
No, I agree. And I think we also need to look kind of, as you said, Phil, outside of what many would consider the traditional gun owner, because the support for self-defense and the exercising of the choice to own a gun, I think, is universal and appeals to a lot of different Americans. And I think, Phil and I have been at this a long, long time, and it's important that we reach out to the next generation of activists. And I think I do a lot of speaking on college campuses, and I've seen the pendulum really swing. College campus is still liberal. It might not be 80% supporting gun rights, but when I would go out and speak in the 1990s versus in the 20 teens, there's a lot of support by young people. And if we can harness that energy, not only we will have immediate payoff with those young voters voting in these elections, but they'll be the next generation of leaders moving ahead. So I think that groups like SAF and CCRKBA and VCDL working together just make us that much more unified, that much stronger. We have this 2A first responder program on a national level where we can sort our list by state so we can target down to the state level. So certainly I hope that VCDL will help us promote this like we're doing nationally with our television ads and through our website and social media. And conversely, if there are things that you think that we can help amplify your message, please use me as a resource, and I can work with the staff at SAF to help support you. And I don't think, Phil, this will be the end of these types of meetings, the end of our discussions. It's probably only the beginning of them. And we should continue to have these types of dialogues with our groups to make sure that everybody's engaged to the fullest extent, because even though we can't expect everybody will do everything that's necessary, I think we all need to work together to make sure everybody does at least something to get engaged, because even a small amount of time can make a really, really big difference.
A phone call can make
a phone
all
call,
the difference in the
talking
world.
to a neighbor, going to a local community fair and handing out literature. There are a lot of ways with very minimal effort we can start to have a bigger footprint in our community, expand our base support, and really start educating our neighbors who sometimes are ignorant in the truest sense of the word because they simply don't know what they don't know. And they're not going to learn it through the mainstream media. They're going to have to learn it through us as ambassadors of the gun rights movement, as their friends and neighbors. So I'm really happy you took the time for this call today. Again, I would like to double back with you another time to do another one where maybe we can drill down into the weeds and maybe do some substantive grassroots training and exchange ideas. And Dennis or anybody else on the call, if you guys don't have anything else, I don't want to keep you too long today, but I can't tell you how much I appreciate your time and how much I look forward